Let's kick things off today with something a little weird. We're starting with a party at a construction site. Now, that might sound strange, but trust me, this one very unusual celebration tells us a whole lot about a government's real, true priorities.
And this quote, wow, it just nails it. The idea that celebrating a half-finished building while essential public services are left struggling isn't just a weird choice, it's a symbol for a much, much bigger problem. So let's dig into that.
All right, so what's the story here? Well, on December 11th, 2025, the Assembly Speaker made an announcement. There's going to be a pre-Christmas party on December 19th, and the venue? The brand new and very, very unfinished Assembly building. I mean, it just makes you wonder, right? Why on earth would you celebrate something that isn't even done yet? Our sources float a few ideas. Maybe it's a great photo op, to create the feeling of progress. Or, hey, maybe it's a way to justify the massive price tag. Or maybe it's just a handy distraction from other things that aren't going so well. And this is where things get really interesting. We're about to see a pretty shocking contrast between the very steady, on-time progress of this one fancy building and the years and years of delays for the services that people actually rely on every day. So, let's start with the building itself. The estimated price tag for this new assembly building, which, by the way, is just for 60 members of the Legislative Assembly, is a whopping 500 crore rupees. That is a huge amount of money. So what's the trade-off? Okay, now hold that 500 crore number in your head. And now, let's talk about another number, 55,000. That's how many teachers have been waiting and waiting for finalized pay structure. They've been waiting since 2018. You can already start to see where the priorities are, can't you? Oh, but it doesn't stop there. For more than 4 years, the 108 ambulance service, literally the emergency lifeline for citizens, has been completely stuck in limbo. Just think about that for a second. 4 years of waiting for ambulances while a new government building goes up right on schedule. And if you need any more proof, just look at these deadlines for December 2025. It's pretty telling. The party? Yep, that's got a firm date. It's on track, no problem. But the promise to finalize teacher pay just 6 days later, not even a draft exists. And that crucial Shillong road? Still incomplete. It's this crazy situation we're calling the on-schedule paradox. So you might be thinking, there has to be a name for this, right? This pattern of prioritizing big, shiny projects over people's actual needs? And you'd be right, there is. Political scientists have a term for it, monument politics. And it's a really fascinating way to understand these kinds of decisions. So what is monument politics? Basically, it's when a government decides to pour money into things you can see. Gleaming new buildings, massive statues, things they can cut a ribbon in front of. Why? Because those things build a tangible, visible political legacy. The problem is that often means neglecting the less glamorous but way more important stuff, like healthcare and education. It's symbolic capital over human welfare. And listen, this isn't some isolated thing happening in just one state. Nope, this is a global playbook. The source material points to a really powerful example right from India's national government, the new parliament building and that massive Central Vista project. Both of these pushed forward right through the COVID-19 pandemic, a time when hospitals were completely overwhelmed. Okay, so let's bring it all back home to Meghalaya. We're going to put this stuff side by side, and you can see for yourself what gets done and what gets left behind. Just look at this table. It lays it all out, clear as day. In the what gets done column, you see it. The new assembly building, a stadium, big annual festivals, all highly visible, great for the image kinds of projects. And in the what is delayed column, teacher pay, HIV drug procurement, the ambulance tender, water supply upgrades. The source calls this the infrastructure service inversion. It's like their to-do list is completely upside down. And this right here, this is the most important point of all. The fact that this huge, complex assembly building project is actually moving along on schedule proves one critical thing. The government absolutely can meet deadlines and deliver on big projects when it wants to. So what does that mean? It means the endless delays on essential services, they're not happening because the government can't get them done. They're happening because of a deliberate choice. As we start to wrap this up, it's pretty clear this is so much bigger than one party or even one building. It's about a really fundamental question of what exactly a government is for.
And this question from the source material just brings everything into perfect focus. If a government can move heaven and earth to get a building for 60 politicians done by a specific date, why can't it do the same to make sure 55,000 teachers are paid fairly by the date it promised them?
And that really leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? When you see what gets built versus what gets neglected, you have to ask yourself, what is a government's primary purpose? Is it to build monuments to itself, or is it to provide essential services for its people?